Brother Ben here? Brother Ben. Now, Ben got a heck of a program. A lot of people listening to Brother Ben. And Ben tells them about the minister. And Ben tells them about the minister.
Peace, family. What's going on? Welcome back to your power call. Welcome back to your power call. Today, we're going to be going over the principle of leadership. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. I would like to greet you all with the greeting words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum. With the climate that we're in, I think it is a timely message to hear from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakahan speak about the principle of leadership. All of us are leaders in our own right, whether if it be in our own household, whether it be, in our business, whether it be leading somebody that looks up to us. We should all understand the principle of leadership. So if you're on for the very first time on the Zoom call, we listen to the Zoom, we listen to what the minister has to say, take notes, and we share what stands out for us at the end. So we're going to tune in for about an hour and then give our feedback on what we learned. Here we go.
He's a man of the people. He never got too high to serve. Is that right? And it's his service of us that got him in trouble with white folks. You better not believe what them white folks say about us. They said Jesus was fomenting revolution. Jesus was fomenting a revolution of the mind, but he didn't seek the throne of Herod. Filthy. Reverend Cohen is not seeking to do anything, these trumped up false charges. You and I, we really ought to take Chuck D and Flavor Flav advice. We should never believe the hype. You know what I'm saying? Don't believe the hype. It's real. Yes, when Reverend Cohen founded the United Front, it didn't look like nobody was with him, but he kept on striving. Is that right? And the support got louder. And now with people coming from around the country and around the world, the support is getting louder. And we go from diminuendo to crescendo. Is that right? We go from pianissimo all the way to fortissimo, right? And we make a joyful noise unto the Lord. It's joyful for us to unite. It's joyful for us to unite. It's better spirit for us to unite. It is better for us to unite with our own kind and with our own self for the purpose of our own nation. All you're giving is the money. Ain't nothing but some dead presidents. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrkahan.
Bringing in more leads. If you're not bringing in more qualified leads, you pay.
Thank you. Thank you. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever. We thank Almighty God, Allah, for blessing the world with Moses and the Torah, with Jesus and the Gospel, and with Muhammad and the Holy Quran. But if I lived to be 1,000 years of age, I could never thank God enough for raising up in our midst the divine leader, teacher, and guide, the man that taught me what I know and gave me the example of the man I'm hoping to become.
All right,
the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I greet all of you, my dear brothers and sisters, with the greeting words of peace. We say it in Arabic, Assalamu alaikum, but it means in English, peace be unto you. Thank you. To our Reverend, who is the pastor of this great church, to Mrs. Cohen and her daughter and all of the dignitaries, to Minister James and all of those who worked to make tonight possible. I'm so very sorry that there's so many people who came that cannot share this auditorium with us, and there are many downstairs who just won't be able to see or hear, but they bought a ticket to show their support for reform. I promised them that I would go to them after I finished speaking with you. I will go and speak with them so that they won't feel that any injustice has been done to them. Our people have been so mistreated. And their temper, because we're so wounded.
Right.
Jesus said it so beautifully, all that came before me were thieves and robbers.
That's right, Brother Minister. Come on.
And we are not thieves and we are not robbers of our people. We have come to try to follow in the footsteps of the Good Shepherd.
That's right.
For the Good Shepherd would lay down his life for the sheep. It is a joy to be in Memphis.
All right.
It is a joy to give service on behalf of a fellow laborer in the vineyard of God who is a good man, and I'm speaking about Reverend Cohen, and to try to raise money to help him in his appeal to see if that man of God can get justice, that he may come out of prison and continue to serve the community. I'm honored to be here in Memphis.
Honored to have you, brother.
And I am honored to see so many wonderful and beautiful people who have spent time and money to be here tonight. Congratulations, Memphis. You used to be the city of the dead, but not anymore. You deserve it. You pulled together and you voted in one of our own to be the mayor of this great city. We say to Mayor Harrington that we offer him our prayers, that Almighty God will bless him with a successful administration of this city. We must not ever believe that because we have a black mayor, that that's the answer to our problem. Our problem is not to be solved politically.
That's right. Come on, Brother Minister.
Although politics plays a great part.
Come on.
The mayor needs our support.
Amen. Teach, Brother Minister.
And he needs our prayers.
That's right.
If the mayor will create the political atmosphere for us to make progress,
all right,
then we must unite.
Come on, Brother Minister. Teach.
As one family and try to move our people forward. And if we can move our people forward, the city would automatically move forward. We cannot be happy if Mayor Harrington takes the cream of the black crop and brings them to City Hall. That's a joy.
Listen.
But until the little brother and the little sister, until the smallest and the weakest of us have an opportunity, then we have not yet succeeded in our mission. I would only say to the mayor that we can't play the game of politics as it has been played.
That's right.
We can't take the corrupt examples of those that have gone before us, because what is allowed to white people
Teach, Brother Minister.
in their administration will not be allowed to any black person in his or her administration. It is sad that there is a double standard, but that double standard will work to our best interest if we do the thing right.
Right. Come on, Brother Minister.
Because in this day,
Teach.
it is not might nor power
Come on.
that will do the job. It is only by the Spirit of God. And when you strive, and we strive to be as right as we can be in our administration of government or our administration of our homes or churches or mosques or synagogues, that the people today seek justice. They want fair dealing.
Come on, Brother Minister.
They're tired of favoring one that has money over one that doesn't, one that has riches or standing in the community over one who doesn't. We have to understand that every human being demands justice.
Yes.
And it is only a just society that has the blessings of God, and only a just society will remain.
Yes.
This nation can never be a great nation long into the future if it is an unjust nation.
Teach, Brother Minister.
A few blocks from here, a just man was assassinated.
All right. Come on, Brother Minister.
A man who fought to make America a more just society was assassinated by those who want privilege and power over being right. But there were powerful governments before this that were unrighteous, and they did not remain. There are no rockets and no weapons of war that can keep America strong. Her biggest enemy now is weak and falling apart. America cannot be destroyed by some outside force. But it is injustice and corruption inside the house that can bring this nation to its knees. So America and her political and spiritual leaders should be mindful of history. And you know, there was one scholar who said those who don't learn the lessons of history are doomed to repeat those lessons. Pharaoh was a great, powerful ruler, but he didn't profit from the history of the rejection of the people of Noah. He didn't profit from the history of the wickedness of the people of Lot in Sodom and Gomorrah. So he had to make an example as a great ruler of a great nation for future nations. But after Pharaoh paid the price in death, still Nebuchadnezzar and Belshazzar in Babylon didn't learn the lesson from Pharaoh. And after Nebuchadnezzar and Belshazzar paid the price, Caesar should have learned. But Caesar didn't learn. So will America learn? Tonight, whether America learns or not, we have to learn. We are a people that are in great difficulty and great danger.
That's right.
Our leaders who are strong are being systematically destroyed.
That's right.
One by one, they're being silenced. One by one, they're being bought off. One by one, they're being given promises that the deceiver does not intend to fulfill.
Right.
One by one, they're being sifted for their weaknesses, that their weaknesses may be used to destroy their effect as a leader. One by one, our organizations are being torn apart.
Come on, Brother Minister.
So today, nearly 40 million black people in America have not the voices that spoke for us in the 60s.
All right.
We had many voices in the 60s that spoke to our hurt.
Yeah. Right.
Today, unfortunately,
Listen.
there are just a few left.
All right. Yes.
If you want power and prestige in this world more than the liberation of the people,
Listen.
then this world can give you a measure of power, and it can give you a measure of prestige. If you want wealth over the liberation of your people, even though the wealth of this world is diminishing, it can offer us some of its diminishing wealth.
Listen.
But there is nothing more sacred than freedom.
Come on, Brother Minister.
Nothing more sacred than justice and equity.
Come on, Brother Minister.
And it would be better for us all to die in the struggle for those three great principles and essentials of life than to live a day in comfort and sentence your people to another 10, 20, 30, 40, or 50 years of the degradation that we presently suffer. I want to talk very briefly tonight, because you've been here quite a long time, on leadership.
Off early as well.
What it is.
It's all right.
And where it comes from. How to sustain it and maintain it. There are some leaders
In
who
the
are
last
born
30 days.
and there are others who are made.
Come on, Brother Minister. Teach now.
Everybody.
But leadership is a principle that God himself has set into motion for God, and God alone is the real leader.
That's right, Brother Minister. Come on.
He's the true leader.
That's right.
Allah, God, the originator of the heavens and the earth, could not bring in the heavens and the earth until he himself came in.
Come on, Brother Minister.
Since we don't have a beginning to God, we know everything had a beginning.
Right.
But since we weren't there in the beginning, then all we can say about the beginning is, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. In the beginning, the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light.
Come on, brother.
But there was no activity until an actor activated activity.
Come on, brother. Come on.
There was no creation until a creator said, "Be."
Come on.
And it is.
Come on, Brother Minister.
So the first leader was God himself. God had a vision of his universe. It was in his mind, and he brought it out of his mind. He marshaled the forces of his own mind.
Yes. Come on, Brother Minister.
And he took dead matter and made it function according to a plan and a purpose.
Come on, Brother Minister.
And he made reality out of nothing.
Come on. Come on, Brother Minister.
So if God could create a universe from nothing, then in so doing, he destroyed the impossible. There is nothing impossible. If we can vision it, we can bring it into existence. All praise is due to Allah.
Teach, Brother Minister.
God created the creatures, but he knew their needs before they knew they had a need.
Come on, brother.
Then he, the provident one, the beneficent, the merciful, provided for all his creatures whatever they needed to sustain, maintain, nurture, and evolve their life and reproduce their life. It was already here before they got here. Leadership is not television. Leadership is not being seen of men. Leadership is not eloquence. Leadership is the ability to perceive need before need is needed. Leadership. Leadership is providing for the people what the people earnestly need and desire. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, thank you, taught me that if you look at the way life is formed with a sperm,
That's it.
the sperm has a little head
Listen.
and a long tail.
Come on, brother.
But at the head of the sperm
Yes.
is some intelligence.
Come on.
For the sperm knows exactly what to do.
Come on, brother minister.
The tail gives it mobility.
Teach, brother.
But the head of the sperm directs the tail. God gives everything a head. I want you to listen good now. And while he's giving out heads, he gives out tails. But he never allows the tail to lead the head. You have never found sperm swimming backward with the tail leading the way to the egg.
That's right. Come on.
It's always the head moving toward the egg, using the tail and moving the tail to give it mobility, motion, activity.
Come on.
But whatsoever is in the head of that sperm, it is carrying the past. It is the present. And it's carrying the future. You see, all of us are three-dimensional. We are past, we are present, and we are future. We are like God. We were, we are, we shall be. That's right. Wise men and women take care for this body because what you eat and what you drink and what you think becomes a part of what you form that makes your future.
Come on, Brother Minister.
The sperm meets the egg in the darkness of the womb. In that meeting and that joining of sperm with ovum,
Come on, Brother Minister.
the first cell of life is produced. We all started from one cell. Like all things started from one God. But from that one cell we have, and then we multiply.
Right.
And now we are an organism composed of billions of cells, although we started from one cell. So it is with the human family.
Come on, Brother Minister.
It started from God, the originator, the marvelous and magnificent creator.
Come on, Brother Minister.
He said he created male and female from a single essence. And he created its mate of the same kind. And from these two, he spread many men and women.
Come on, Brother Minister.
So all of the human family starts from a single source. Although we branch out into tribes and families, we come from one source.
Come on, Brother Minister.
And since we are all from that one source, then whether you are from your mother and I'm from my mother, and you're from your father and you're from another father, but when you go back to the root of its beginning, we all came from that one source, the mighty creator. So indeed I am your brother, and indeed you are my brother, and you are my sister, and I'm your brother. Not because your mother's womb produced me, but the God's mind brought you and me out of it.
Come on, Brother Minister.
You didn't hear me.
Come on. Come on, Minister.
When that sperm meets that egg in the darkness of the womb, it forms a clot, then an embryo, then a fetus. But the first thing that forms is a head.
Listen.
Not the foot, not the hands, but the head.
Come on, Brother Minister.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that once the head is formed, the head calls
Come on now.
the other members into existence.
Come on now. Come on.
As as a Christian, you are the body of Christ. But you couldn't come into existence until the head called you into existence. You didn't precede the head. The head preceded you. Without the head, you have no reason to exist.
Come on, brother.
And that's why Paul said, in Christ, we live, we move, and we have our being, because he's your head.
Right.
All right, we're talking on leadership.
Come on, brother.
Once the head is formed, it calls the arms into existence. It calls the legs into existence. It helps to form the body because the head carries the innate knowledge of what it's going to need in a world that it's coming into. It's in the genetic coding. That's why the Bible starts in the book called Genesis. Because whatever you'll find in Revelation, you find its root in the gene, in the genesis of the book. And whatever you find in the human experience, you find it in the genetic makeup of the human being. Y'all all right?
Come on, brother.
We're talking on leadership. I won't be long with the help of God. Beloved family, we are a family.
That's right.
And we've got to think like a family. We've got to work like we are a family. We can't let artificial barriers stop us from acting like a family. I'm a Baptist, I'm a Methodist, I'm an Episcopalian, I'm a Mason, I'm an elk, I'm dark, I'm light. I'm from Tennessee, I'm from Alabama, I'm from Mississippi, I'm from Africa, I'm from the Caribbean. No, you're from God.
Come on, brother.
You're from God.
Make it plain.
Say, well, I'm from the earth. No. You from God.
Right.
The house you live in is from the earth.
Yes, brother minister.
But the spirit that lives in it is from God. So when the spirit departs from the body returns to the earth, but the essence, you call the body the remains.
See?
Well, you've had meals where there were just remains.
Come on, brother minister.
You know what the remains are. That's after the real core of the thing has been done.
Come on, brother minister.
Well, if these are the remains after the spirit has left me, then the most important part of me is never my body.
Come on, brother minister.
It has never been my arms. It has never been my legs. It has never been my hair. It has never been my nose and my lips that you think is cute. You know what I mean? The real essence of the human being is on the inside that you don't see with the physical eye. No? Oh, praise you.
Come on, brother minister.
That's why when we hold each other in love, I want to hold you, sweetheart.
Listen.
Just hold me, darling.
Listen.
That's nice. It's really nice. But it's nice to hold the house that I live in.
Yeah. Come on.
But I wish you'd get acquainted with me. I'm on the inside. Looking out through physical reality.
Come on, brother.
But I am greater than the physical reality that's carrying me about. Because I was before this physical reality, and I'll be after this physical reality is gone. You understand?
Come on, brother.
Are we all right? We're all together. We're talking on leadership. That head is forming. Calling things into existence, a body. The head forges the way for freedom now.
Come on now.
When the body, the fetus, is developed beyond the capacity of the womb to hold it. it needs another house, a bigger house.
That's right.
So the head turns down,
Listen.
toward the opening to forge the way to freedom.
All right.
The head begins to push against these pelvic bones. The soft head of the new life is hard enough to forge the way to freedom for the body. The shoulders are there supporting the head, but the head got to make the way for the body. So when the doctor says, I see it, it's here, it's coming. Push, mother, push. Well, not only is mama pushing, but the baby is pushing too. That's why the babies look so old and tired when they get here. If they could talk. Could you turn the sound up? Yeah, I got to have some sound. I don't want to. Can you hear me all right? If the baby could talk and tell us what it went through just forming, it'll blow your mind. You know what you went through bringing it here, but you don't know what the baby came through to get here. But leadership was involved. The Creator put it in the sperm and in that egg, the coding necessary to bring that life here. Well, now you got a head sitting up on your shoulders. That's your leader.
That's right.
That's your leader. Your head, that's your leader.
That's right.
Your eyes see for you. Your nose smell for you. Your ears hear for you. Your tongue speaks for you. Your hands work for you. Your feet support you as you move. You have a will, and you have the capacity to vision and to bring into reality what you vision. You have the responsibility now to look after your body. Your body has needs. It's your eyes that see for the needs of your body. It's your ears that must hear for danger and protect you. It's your hands that must work to develop whatever it is that you have in your mind. This is your leader. But if the earth is without form and void, and darkness is upon the face of the deep, and there's no light in your mind, then there's no leadership principle present in your life. And therefore you walk around like a headless horseman. You're not providing for your own self. And therefore you can't provide for that which your sexual nature allows you to produce out of the natural desire in the male for the female and the female for the male. We get together and have children, but we don't plan. All right. We don't provide. We sit around waiting for government to lead us, to give us things. But before there was a government, there was God. And before there was government, there was man. And before there was government, there was principles of leadership that God instilled in man. That's right. He said to man, multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue it. That's right. He's given man the potential to master what he created. It's all here, but there's no light in the mind to develop your own potential for leadership. Come on, brother. And therefore you're like sheep. Yes. easily led in the wrong direction, but hard to lead in the right direction. And this is why Jesus said, I am the good shepherd. He had to give himself an adjective to describe his leadership, to differentiate his kind of leadership and quality of leadership from the kind and quality of leadership that the people had been under. I am the good shepherd. Meaning that you've been under rotten leadership. How do you know that I got a bad head on my body? Check my body out. When did you last bathe your body? When did you last clean your body? What did you put in your body? What kind of food did you fix for yourself tonight? Was it a Wendy's or a McDonald's, or did you think enough about yourself to put the best in yourself? What kind of drink did you drink? What kind of smoke did you smoke? What kind of dope did you use? See, if you start thinking about what you're doing to yourself, you are already bearing witness that your head is bad. The leadership principle is not at work in you. You are dead mentally. Therefore, you need a good shepherd in your life. You need a good leader that will wake up the leadership principle in you, that you will never have to need a leader anymore. I'm almost finished. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught me that since God has put a head on a body to see, hear, speak, think, vision for us, that's our head, he does that for the nation. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He does it for the individual. But on the broader scale, he does it for the mass of humanity. How then does God produce leadership for the mass of humanity? Come on, brother. Listen to the words of the Bible in the Genesis. And the Spirit of God moved on the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light. Listen. And there was light. Come on, brother minister. Waters here don't just stand for water. Come on, brother. Water here stands for the multitude of the people. When there is a need in the people that is not satisfied, come on, out of the natural longing in the people, that's called the Spirit of God moving on the face of the water. When the people need something and they don't have it, their desire for it sets up a longing, and the longing causes a woman somewhere among that people to give birth to a child that looks like an ordinary child. But that child is a child of destiny, born to satisfy the need of the mass that called it into existence. Now, I'm going to say something that may make some of you a little uncomfortable. Come on with it, brother minister. Teach the truth. The people in mass are representative of God himself. Listen. Since we came from one and multiplied, now my body is billions of cells. Listen. With 9 systems governed by this 10th planet. Come on, brother minister. The sun of my life. A mind must be filled with light. Listen carefully. Likewise, from the billions of people, they are representative of God himself. So when God's Spirit moves on the face of the waters to bring out of the water a light for the people to walk by, to see by. Come on, brother. Then since they are produced of all, the longing of all, then when they come up with that light, whether they have met God or not, they are messengers of God. Listen. Come on, brother. Come on, break it down. Since God is the only reality, there is no other reality. Come on, brother. You are just an illusion, and so am I. Let's deal with that. Now you see me. Stick around a while and you won't see me no more. But God was, God is, God shall be. Right. Martin King was here. Martin King is gone. But God was in his time. God is now. And God shall be when we are not here anymore. There'll be another generation to praise him. Do you hear me? Now we'll get this sound a little better. Thank you, brother. And we don't want to miss a thing, do we? Right. What I'm suggesting, dear brothers and sisters, is that we're all passing away. But God is forever and eternal. That's right. So it's foolish of you to worship me. That's the point. It's foolish of you or me to worship anybody other than God. Now, because a person is born out of the mass to serve the mass by the permission of him who created the mass, still don't worship the servant. Come on, brother. Worship the creator. Come on, brother, man. Listen carefully now to what I'm about to say, because these are mistakes that you and I have made and are still making. We are very idolatrous people. Yes, sir. That's right. We are lazy to search for God. So anybody with a little more wisdom than we have, we start worshiping them. That's right. And you know, some of us kind of like that kind of stuff. So I got all these people here, you know, kind of worshiping me. Listen. But I tell any leader, don't get carried away with yourself. That's right. Because there were great men before us. That's right. And they're not here now. But God was. Go ahead, God. And there are great men now, but God is. Right. And there'll be greater men tomorrow, and God will be. Right. So we don't want to worship the prophets. Yes, worship the messengers. Worship those that come as servants of the Most High. Come on, brother, man. We want to worship the Most High, for he and he alone is worthy of worship. Right. Do you hear what I'm saying? Just follow me now. We're talking about a leadership principle. Now, brothers, sisters, Moses was not a made leader. Moses was born to lead. Born out of the longing of a people to be free. You see, the enemy knows the leadership principle. That's why you're in the condition that you're in for so many years. He understands that you'll never be organized until you first have a leader that can call organization into existence. Listen to me. Come on, brother minister. The same way you have to organize yourself and organize your home. And your home is not going to get organized until you get organized. Are you listening? Come on. As a people, we're never going to be organized until the leader arises that God's Spirit is in. That's right. And he'll start calling things into being. And when that kind of leader emerges, there's always a Pharaoh, there's always a Herod looking to see, because they know the time and they know what time is going to produce. Right. Now let's go back to the scripture. I'm almost finished. Pharaoh knew it was time for the deliverer. See, the wicked always know something about time. Right. Listen. See, you put a seed in the ground, a fool would say, corn coming up now. But the wise man knows a season is going to bring it. That's right. You just plant the seed where you deprive a human being of freedom, justice, and equality. Time is going to produce the deliverer. Yes. Right. Time got to produce him, because people are not born to live as slaves. Yeah. We are born in this universe to be free, justified, and equal. Come on, Brother Minister. You understand? Come on. So just keep on living a slave long enough, and you're going to produce a leader that will lead you out of it. Go ahead. Right. But it isn't you producing it, it's God. Come on. Working in and through us. Come on. In the nature that he created us in. Come on. Oh, man. Yes, sir. So when Pharaoh knew it was time for the deliverer, he sent forth a decree. Well, kill all the male children. Listen. Don't let one male child of the children of Israel live. What were you doing that for, Pharaoh? I'm killing the deliverer. Go ahead. Listen. Because I want them to be my perpetual slaves. Come on, Brother Minister. And as long as I can kill the deliverer, the leader that is born out of their longing, they will always be my slave. But they miss Moses. He was hidden and floated down the river in a basket. Come on, Pharaoh killed many, but he missed Moses. He said, spare the female. Why spare the female? I just want to just hit this, and then I'm going to get off it, and let's go on. You see, in war, the spoils of war is always called booty. Listen. Booty is the spoils of war. That's right. When one nation conquers another, it is the male member of one nation conquering the male of another nation, leaving the woman free as the prized possession of the conqueror. And that's where the term booty comes from. Come on, Brother Man. So when you sing it in a filthy way, shake your booty. All right. Listen. And you pardon me for even using the phrase. What you're saying is that your power to give pleasure, your power to give comfort and consolation, your power to aid the male in doing the work of God is now given to the conqueror. Because your man has been conquered, and he can no longer command, and he can no longer demand what God has put in the nature of the woman for that man. So when the white man brought our fathers into slavery, he broke us as men. Come on, Brother Man. So that as men, we could not exhibit the leadership principle. We could not exhibit the manhood principle. We could not exhibit the providential principle. Come on, Brother Man. To provide for our own women and children. So the white man stood as the man, the definite article, and we stood as the boy, And since it is the nature of the woman to find a man and rear children, then she became the booty. And that's why I look like I look. Some of us light, curly hair, thinking we better than our darker brother. Because the enemy came in our family and got our mothers and our grandmothers. So our women loved us, but they couldn't look to us for what they could get from white people.
All right.
And it's the same today. You are not providing jobs for them. You are out of work. And the white man is giving her the job. And she is keeping us. And it's a hell of a man that wants to be kept by a woman. So the male member of the family is destroyed. The leadership principle in the man is gone. We don't have the courage to face the enemy.
Come on, brother man.
We're afraid. Afraid of our shadows. Afraid that white folk won't like us. We want to do everything to please somebody else. Fear keeps us acting like little boys. And our women gotta be both men and women. It's not your fault. It is not your fault, brothers. It's not our fault. But it can be our fault if we continue to live like this in the face of knowledge. It was the same in the days of Jesus. Herod knew the Messiah was time to come. They called their wise men and they said, it's time. We saw his star in the east. It's time. The wise men started making their journey. The baby had been born. But Herod said, I want to go find him too. I want to worship him, but Herod didn't want to worship him. Herod wanted to kill him because Herod knew that the one to supplant or replace the wicked rule of Herod was now in the world.
Come on.
So in order to save his own leadership, he had to kill the baby.
Right.
This whole thing is carried right through from there to the Revelation.
Come on, brother man.
There's a woman full with child, bringing forth a man-child that would rule the nations with a rod of iron, and a dragon standing in front of the woman
All right. Come on, brother.
to devour her child as soon as it was born.
All right.
Because the enemy knows that as long as you don't have a leader, you'll never be organized as a people. You'll never have your power as a people to free yourselves. We can talk about Nat Turner now and then. You'll never be organized because the enemy knows that as long as you don't have a leader, you'll never be organized as a people. You'll never have your power as a people to free yourselves. We can talk about Nat Turner now and Denmark Vesey and Gabriel Prosser and give them honor. When Nat Turner arose, he read the Bible, but he didn't read it like a slave.
Teach, Brother Minister.
He read it like a free man. He said, oh, I see something here. He said, we got to rise up and kill the slave master.
Come on, Brother Minister.
That's the only way we're going to be free. Some of the other slaves on the plantation went to quivering.
Right.
Looked like they started having epileptic fits.
Come on, Brother Minister.
And they ran to tell the boss. There's a nigga on the plantation talking about killing y'all, burning y'all up one night. I want you to know I ain't with him. I ain't with him. And so, Nat Turner's dead in the slave revolt. Stopped. Denmark Vesey dead in the slave revolt. Stopped. Harriet Tubman dead in the slave revolt. Stopped.
Listen.
Everyone that would lead us and take us by the hand has been taken by the enemy and destroyed. The only people that they want in front of you are not born leaders, but made leaders. Made to mouth their doctrines, which are empty and bankrupt.
Come on, Brother Minister.
I want you to listen, beloved leaders, my dear and beloved brothers. White folk are not going to make leaders to free this people.
Tell that. Come on, Brother.
It's not in their interest. You can go to Lemoyne Owen. That's a good college. Lemoyne Owen is a good college. But it wasn't set up to produce leaders.
Go ahead. Listen.
Oh, I want you to listen.
Go ahead.
I got to talk to you. You can go to Harvard or Howard. You can go to Fisk. They weren't set up to produce black men to lead black people. They were set up to produce Negroes. They were set up to produce, yes, listen to me. They were set up to produce black men that like white values. They were set up to produce men that would acquiesce and submit to their system. That's why none of you could ever beat Malcolm in any debate, because you couldn't think outside of the box that the white man put you in. They said they educated you.
Come on now.
They gave you a piece of paper that you put on the wall. But if I ask you, what did you produce with your paper? Where's our factories? Where's our schools? Where's our ships? Where's our international trade? You can't show me nothing, because the white man didn't make you a leader. He didn't awaken in you the leadership principle. He made you bow down to his leadership and worship his heroes and produce none for yourself.
Wow. Boy, that preacher, boy. Whoever that was back in there, that deacon kept saying, wow. Yes, sir, Brother Minister. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Boy, took you back to church, didn't he? Man, what a message by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrkahan on leadership. That's just part one. We're going to finish part two tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to finish part two tomorrow, man. But press the number 1 if you have anything that you would like to share that stood out for you. Press the number 1 if you have anything, if you on this Zoom call, that stood out for you, so we can have a discussion about it. All right. Well, let me start. I'll start it off for what stood out for me. He said you need a good leader that will wake up the leadership in you so you won't need a leader anymore. To me, that's the principle of a good leader. One who's not trying to get you to always have to depend on him. He wants to empower you to get the knowledge. He wants to empower you to study, you to tap into the God within yourself so that you can learn, because that person is not going to always be here. As he said later in the message as well, he said it is foolish to worship anybody other than God because all will pass away. That does not mean that we don't listen to good leadership. It doesn't mean that he hasn't raised a messenger from among us speaking our language that we must listen to, as scriptures talk about. But we just have to be very clear that that is a human being that may be imperfect, who may make some mistakes. So we must worship no God but Allah, who is really the only reality, but is Allah who is inside of that person that's working, doing of good. That's why when that person does something good, we say all praise is due to Allah, not the person. Because we're just the vessel who Allah is using. Says Allah is spirit, God is spirit. Yeah, but worship him in spirit and in truth. When the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the spirit is dependent on the material. So it's the spirit in us that and when we submit, then we become reflections of God when we submit to that voice of God within. I remember when my son, Taji, was a little younger, he would say things and it would be fascinating. And I would say, where you get that from? And he would say, my mind told me. And I knew what I was hearing when he said that, but he would say, my mind told me. I mean, it would be some like, wow, boy, where you get that from? He talking about building and growing food and, oh, man, we can do this. I said, where you get that from? He said, my mind told me. So the more we submit, man, to that will of God, the more we submit to that voice of God, we take on his thoughts, because it says his thoughts is not our thoughts. His ways are not our ways. That's the gap. So in Closing the Gap, Brother Jabril talks about that. That's the gap. So if the gap is in thought, if the gap is in ways, and we know our ways is due to our thoughts, then the way that we become more like God is make our thoughts and bring our thoughts in line with him. So let's go to Brother Daniel. Man, my laptop is full, man. What's going on?
Yes, sir. A lot of points. I just may point out 2 or 3. When he said that the all or the people is representative of God, which bears witness to we are all God's children of the Most High. And I can remember reading in the Supreme Wisdom recently that Allah is the all-I-seeing. So in each of us is Allah, and the collective represents the God. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that every righteous person is a God, not to be worshipped, because there's only one supreme, but we certainly can manifest his divine in us and garner the respect of that divine attribute of Allah coming through and from him. So I thought that was very powerful. And then now what our brother just said, Allah is the only reality. So that which is real in us is the God. So he said every time he look at a black man and woman, this is the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that he looking at God. You don't have to wait to see. This is something that we have to learn, and we have to work to remove the dross and the muck and mire of this civilization off of our divine, so that we can reflect God and the people can see God coming through us. Also, just looking at the principle of leadership that he spoke about, and how the condition of the people through the womb of a woman will produce the leader to fulfill the needs of the people. It just makes me think about the current situation that the masters of the people found themselves in, where they're putting all their hope in politics. Clearly, the nation didn't produce a political figure to solve the problems that we are suffering from, because the reality is the problems are getting worse and worse, and no political leader has been able to do any good that's even satisfying the majority of Caucasians in this nation, let alone Black people. And I just found it interesting that how, as Black people, and I don't want to deal too much with politics, but we gotten a lot of support for the now candidate, and it's raised millions. But if we look at the program of Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we've been asked to do this for ourselves. We're not going to get a return on any of that money. But if we would do that for ourselves, the return would be exponentially able to move our community in the right direction. So it just made me think about the importance of knowing that Allah is present and the Messiah is present, and knowing that all of our pain, all of our suffering, the things that we desire to be free, justified, and equal is present. The answers is present. And now we have to connect with Allah through the two that he raised, so that the needs that we have can be answered, all of them: financial, social, relationship needs, all of the needs that we suffering from. Allah, in the person of Master Father Muhammad, has come to solve all of those problems, not without pain, not without suffering, not without struggle, but we have to be willing to connect with the right leader, so that the leadership principle can be raised in us, and we can become self-saviors under the God and set ourselves in heaven at once. So those are some of the points, family. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sister Gwen.
Assalamu alaikum, family. This was a powerful message to me today. He made so many points, but several that stood out to me. Number one, he said God made reality out of nothing. And in doing so, he destroyed the impossible. He also said your head sitting on your shoulders is your leader. So, what he is telling us is that we need to think for ourselves and for our community. He said leadership is the ability to see the need before the need is needed. We see what our community needs, we see what we have to do as a people to get our people together, because, as he said, there will be no unity if we don't unite. So to stay in the message, to stay in the Quran, to stay in the teachings, to stay in the community development is the key to our success. But us as a family, us here on this power call, we all are going in our individual directions, bringing the rest of the family, the rest of the community back into the fold. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Yes, ma'am. All right, let's go to nobody, because ain't nobody else there. He said, the enemy knows as long as you don't have a leader, you will never be organized as a people. You will never have power as a people to free yourselves. Now, what I like about what the minister did in this portion or in the message is he related it to us as human beings. He brought it back down to self-improvement. Because just like he said that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told him, just like the body has a head, God puts a head over everything else, in existence. So he puts a head over the people. The same way. So like as we as a people have leadership, we have leadership over our body, and it starts with the mind. So we have to start with the head, which takes, me back honestly to programs our program, any other program, a lot of people like mindset. Oh my goodness, mindset. But bro, that's really the key. And if we're being honest, a lot of things like the hands-on, how to do certain things, you can YouTube that. How to make a video, you can YouTube that. How to make an ebook, you honestly can YouTube that and learn it today as a tutorial, like literally online by hundreds of people probably. But the right mindset of how to grow, how to sustain, how to get your life together, that's the most important part. Your mind, like honestly, man, I've been, and we're going to bring it to y'all, but man, I've been even looking into government contracting. Government contracting, they even have people out here, barbers, people that you think, just regular stuff that you already know how to do. Your city, your state is hiring people to do these things because they have this amount of money that they have to give to small businesses or minority businesses. But what if you're not even ready for it? What if your mind not even ready for a $100,000 deal? See, $300,000 deal. So sometimes we think it's, customers, I got to find customers. What if that's not even a problem? What if the problem is there are plenty of opportunities out here for us? Am I prepared for it? So mindset is the minister also talked about if you're not in order, your house won't be in order. He said your home would not get organized until you get organized. Well, that's also saying with our life. Our life won't get organized or where we want it to be if our mind don't get there. You want to run a business? Well, how much do you want to make? Well, I want to make $5,000 a month, Brother Ben. I want to be able to leave my job. Well, what is the mindset? What is the behind the scenes habits, strategies, day-to-day operations of a person, not the business, of a person that builds a business like that? What type of meetings do you have? What are you sharing in the meeting? What are the principles of leadership to manage a team to be able to sustain that type of company? These are all things we have to learn because we've been taught to be an employee all our life. All I know is to show up, do my job, and go home. Well, if you're talking about running a business and growing beyond and reaching your dreams, it's a little bit more than just showing up, doing what you do and go home. You got to worry about how to organize others, how to position others, how to communicate with others. So it's deep, man. So I think this is a very on time message because at the end of the day, we have to be the ones that is in control over our lives, determine where we go, and we can't depend on someone else to grant us all of our dreams. We have to be the leader. We have to learn to tap into the God within, do the studying because God studied. Who are we not to study? Master Father Muhammad became who he was through Elijah is an best knower, best of planner. That takes study. So how can we be true reflections and we don't study? And not study, let me say this, not study just to study. Oh, I studied something today. I just turned on a random lecture today. No, that ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about us looking at our individual life saying, where am I personally? And let me study something for where I am personally. Because me watching something that took, me just watching something just to say, I watched the lecture today, but it ain't improving you where you at. Not saying that that's wasting our time. It's still good that we at least watching something, but let's just try to be a little bit more strategic. So with that being said, I don't see any more number ones. Thank you all for coming on this morning. Please continue to invite your people on as we continue to grow and learn and execute on the knowledge that we have. And inshallah, I will see you guys in the morning for part 2 of the principle of leadership by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrkahan. Assalamu alaikum, and y'all have a black-tastic day.
Is Brother Ben here? Brother Ben. Now, Ben got a heck of a program. A lot of people listening to Brother Ben. And Ben
tells them about the minister.
And Ben tells them about the minister.